What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today I've got a student theme unboxing haul video where we have a lot of the products that have been from Amazon, Best Buy, and things that are going to be featured in back to school content, including a best tech for the dorm episode, a back to school bag, and everyday carry. So we've got a lot of exciting things in front of me, but I'm even more excited for the videos that are going to be coming up with all of these products in the near future. If you guys are excited for that or would like to win one of the items featured in this video, just make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, and also leave a comment down below. But also please go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter because I've been trying to post there a lot. And I'm gonna leave a link to all my social media down below, but I really want to give away a lot of these things to you guys over the back to school season because of course back to school season is exciting, but it's also very expensive, especially if you're into tech, and because I'm dropped out, I really don't need many of these things. All the links to the products featured in this video will be down below. So the first item that we have is the Microsoft Surface Pro, and this is actually the first item in Microsoft's line that I haven't checked out. I reviewed the laptop a few times, the Surface Book, and I even had the Surface Go before I received the Surface Pro, but I'm really excited to check this out. And the one that Microsoft sent over has an i5 processor with 128 gigs of storage as well as 8 gigs of RAM, but it is in the full size. So let's just open this up here and take a look. And here we have it. And I believe this is the 13-inch display. We have the power cord right here, which I'm not going to open because we have a ton of stuff to go through. Here's the Surface Pro itself. Of course, it does have its kickstand. Open it up there, and it is very durable, stands up very nicely. And I really like that they continue to use the magnesium body on their whole line now. So it is nice and durable, very good looking. It does have that edgy design as well, the volume rockers, sleep and power button. And on the other side, you have your I/O, including the charging, as well as a USB port, display port. And other than that, there's just a connector for the keyboard, which we are also going to open up, and that is over here. And this is in the black color, which has that nice rubbery finish. And the keyboard itself is full size, so let's just put this on right here. And there you have it. It's a full setup for the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 if you want to watch some multimedia, do some notes, just your general work. And I have seen a lot of people now use this in university as their main machine, and I think a big reason is because it's multi-purpose, and it does also fold up very easily like this and just goes straight in your bag. Next up, this is something that I first had quite a few months ago when it was kind of hard to get, and I managed to get a couple of them, and I also gave one away to you guys. But it's a Nintendo Classic, and if you're someone who doesn't want to spend exactly the money that it costs to buy a full console like the Xbox One or the PS4, then for $99 and under, if you got yourself a console that brings back a lot of memories, especially for those who are born in the 90s, and that is the NES Classic. It was available on Amazon the other day, and I think nowadays it's much easier to get at its retail price. But it does have 30 games installed, it's very small, and it does have HDMI, so you can plug it into any monitor or TV. Let's just open this up here, and I personally never really played many of these games such as Mario back when I was a kid. For some reason, I was a little bit different growing up in terms of the games I played. But let's just slide this out here, and you have just the instruction manual. And I just remember now how small it was. This is the whole unit itself, but it has that old design that people know and love from the original NES. There's the input there, the power and the reset button, and on the back you just have a single HDMI as well as a micro USB port to keep it powered. Aside from that, you also have the remote control, which it comes with one, but you can also purchase them separately, and I think there are also some wireless third-party options as well. There you go. Once again, very simple. You've got the D-pad and the two buttons. They have also included the power cable as well. And I think one thing that was weird when I had the DS a couple months ago to check out is that it didn't actually come with a power cable. You had to purchase that separately. And yeah, so they include everything you need out of the box. You've got the HDMI here, the USB cable, and the whole unit itself. So like I said, if you want to save some money but still have some classic games all in one into this console, then you've got yourself one for under $100. So the next thing that we have here is the Bose Soundlink Micro, and what I like about this for students especially is that it is so small. So I haven't actually had the chance to test out any of Bose's speakers from the new lineup just yet, but I have had some of their speakers in the past, including the Soundlink line, and I really enjoyed it. But just open this up here. It does come in a few different colors from what I know, and it comes in at a price point that is rather affordable, especially for a Bose product. Just sliding this out here. And inside the box, you have just the speaker itself. And I picked it up in black because as someone who's just gonna put this in my bag and take it around, and it's probably not gonna be treated the best as an on-the-go speaker, I think black is just going to stay the cleanest and most durable for the longest period of time. You have this kind of band here, and it does have this nice soft touch silicone feel that goes all the way around it, as well as the volume and controls, the power and Bluetooth pair, and it does also have micro USB with the battery indicator, but I would have liked to have seen USB Type-C. Moving on to some of the things that Bose has also included, you do have your quick start guide, which we're never going to read on this channel, as well as a cable for charging this up. It doesn't have the wall brick, but you can charge it with the USB on your computer or just an existing brick that you have. But otherwise, it's very small, as you can see, so there's really no excuse not to bring it everywhere with you. So the next thing we have here is a pair of AirPods, and I think this is probably one of the best pieces of student tech. It definitely isn't the cheapest thing out there, but I've seen a lot of students have it, and personally I would say that it's worth every cent, because once you switch to the AirPods, you really don't want to go back to anything else because of convenience. But obviously the AirPods have been out for such a long time, and I wasn't just going to unbox a random pair of AirPods. So we got something a little bit special here from my friends over at Colorware. Let's just open this up here, and from the outside it looks like a normal box with the Colorware sticker on it. But what we have here is actually the retro AirPods. So this right here is their limited edition painted one, and they did also do this for the MacBook as well as the iMac and the iPhone, and I've always wanted the retro edition. I think it looks super cool, but I think they did a great job here with the AirPods, and pretty much everything they make, it's so well painted, it's so high quality. And this has a nice cream color with the kind of texture that goes around the side in the contrasting gray. And there is also the little retro touch on the button there. And the AirPods are fully painted as well, and I think it looks incredible. So I'm gonna leave a link to them down below if you want something a little bit different, or even like in the space gray color, which I've also seen a lot lately. So the second laptop that we have in this video is something that you see me review a lot on the channel, and I personally really enjoy just because of its size, design, and also the specs, and that is the LG Gram. I recently did review the LG Gram 14, but here we have the LG Gram 13 for the back to school season with a focus on portability. So the specs on this one is the Intel Core i5 8250U 1.6 GHz processor, a 13.3-inch 1920 by 1080 Full HD IPS display, 8 gigs of RAM, and also 256 gigs of SSD storage. And this is the one with the updated 2018 specs in the white color. As you can see here, the design is very clean and simple. You have the Gram logo, and I think the white looks really, really good. I personally really like the gray one as well, but I think this white one just looks so clean, and as you guys probably noticed by now, white is pretty much my favorite non-color. Just take a look at the side and how thin it is. It still has all of the I/O that you need, including HDMI, USB Type-C, USB 3.0, and there is also USB on this side, SD card slot. And just opening it up here, the computer itself just says 13. There's the white keyboard and the 8th gen Intel Core i5 with the glossy display. So if you guys have any questions about this, drop them down in the comment section below, but I'm gonna be talking about this a bit more in the back to school bag. So the next thing that we have here is the Xbox One X, and the reason why I picked this is because it is pretty much the cheapest starting price for a console right now. It has 1 terabyte and it does also support 4K media. And if you have a lot of roommates or something and all want to chip in some money to buy one nice console, then the Xbox One X is something that you really can't go wrong with. I personally do have PS4, but I have also used Xbox a lot as well. But let's just take a look at what's inside the box here. And I think the white color looks amazing, and you can also add like a dbrand skin to it to have some cool custom colors. You can customize it exactly the way you want it in a lot of different colors and textures, and I'm gonna leave a link to them down below. So it's just, first thing that we have is that. And there you go. Also have a power cable. So just opening up this here, we have the HDMI. There's also the controller in the white color. I don't know why, I've always really liked the white console. I think I had the Destiny PS4 a couple years back, as well as the white PS4 Pro right now. But yeah, the white and black right here. It does get a little bit dirty over time from what I've noticed because I sweat a lot while I game. But aside from that, there is also the power cable for the Xbox, which is pretty small. And just the game itself, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And other than that, you have the Xbox One S, which is very nice, small, and slim. Personally, I think the Xbox One S looks better than the PS4 and PS4 Pro. I kind of like that boxy design, especially for a game console. And just looking at the back, you have all of your ports here, including the HDMI in and out, the 2 USB ports, the optical for audio, IR, and Ethernet for connectivity. You have your disk drive, USB port on the front, power button. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this before, but for students, I think this is probably the best option. But any of your console that is overall pretty well equipped for 2018, this is a pretty good option in terms of price. So here is the LG portable speaker with Meridian Technologies, and this one here is the PK3, which is the smallest one of the entire line. It also comes in the 5 and 7, and this one is more for someone who wants a speaker that they can take to a party or something. In a backpack, it might be a little bit large and more inconvenient to bring, so the Bose mini speaker might be a bit of a better option. But just opening this up here, it is very small and portable, which is always nice, and it is around the same size as one that I would recommend as a general portable speaker. So there you have it. And of course, since it teamed up with Meridian, the sound quality is going to be pretty good, and there is also some customizability with the sound and the EQ, the bass enhancer. Here's the cable for charging. It is USB Type-C, which is good to see. But looking at the speaker itself, it does kind of fit in the palm of my hand, and the design is very simplistic. You have your I/O ports on the back here, which let me try to open. It is also IPX7 rated, so it's super durable, water resistant around the pool if you want to use it there. And on the top you have your power button, your Bluetooth, volume controls, play pause, the voice control, and the bass enhancer. But here's a quick sound test of the PK3.
The best music. Another one. DJ Khaled. You stick out of the crowd, baby, it's a no-brainer. It ain't the hard to choose.
So moving on to some home stuff, we have the Amazon Echo Spot as well as the Amazon Echo, and I actually haven't tried this out yet. For some reason, so many years after reviewing tech products, I haven't had a chance to check out Amazon Alexa products. So here we have the Spot, and the reason why I like this so much is I believe it is a perfect kind of alarm clock or bedside piece of tech. So just opening this up here, I got this in the white color. And as you can see here, it can do some smart things such as play music, control music, and stuff like that, do the weather, alarm clock, but it also has a camera built in. And there you have it. So this is a circle screen, and it actually reminds me a lot of the Nest thermostat. And there's just the buttons on the top for volume control and a button for controls in the middle. And there's also the power cable right here. But otherwise, that is what's been included with the Amazon Echo Spot. I'm definitely excited to test this out, and I'm gonna talk a bit more about it. But it's kind of cool to try out a lot of different smart home stuff. I personally wasn't a big fan of Bixby or Siri in general. Google Assistant is okay, but I still don't find myself using it that much. But maybe Amazon Alexa is the one for me. Let's just take a look at the Amazon Echo, and I really like it in that gray color as a speaker. It's very small, minimal, and so the power cable, I'm guessing, is in here. And this one also has kind of the proprietary power instead of like micro USB or USB Type-C. But the Amazon Echo here goes very well with the Amazon Echo Spot. You have your voice assistant button on the top, the volume controls, as well as another button for controls. And on the top, there's also a halo that goes around to indicate through LED. But otherwise, the design itself is very minimal, and I'm very curious about the sound quality of this. So as you guys might have seen in the Summer Tech video, I did buy an Instax camera, and I never thought I would. I mean, it's not something that guys normally buy, but after getting that one, I decided I want something that's a little bit bigger to play around with for artistic stuff. I think I saw Virgil Abloh's interview with Essence where they took all the photos on the Polaroid Wide 300. So I decided to get the wide one, and although from the outside it's super ugly, I honestly don't really care for what it is. Just open this up here and check out what's inside. You do have to buy the film separately, which is like $1 a shot. And as someone who has a camera that shoots in 14 frames per second, I'm typically not used to spending a lot of time compositing shots. I just start shooting away. This thing, I think it's for selfies. There's also a strap, a set of AA batteries that are also included. So you just open this up here, and this is actually much bigger than I expected. There you have it. This is like pretty much the same size as the Canon 1DX. You've got the thing for the film that gets loaded into the back. The stuff prints out of here. You've got a big flash, a relatively big lens as well. And there's the button for power. There really isn't much to it in terms of settings, but this is cool, and I'm probably going to share some of the shots that I get over on my Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me there, go ahead and check it out. But yeah, this is the Fuji Instax Wide 300. Dude, look at this. It's like the same size as the 1DX. What do you expect it to be, like tiny?
How's that any better than our bigger phone?
This is better than the 1DX. So of course, with any back to school video, you can't forget about the backpack. And of course, this year we've gone with Herschel again. I've had Herschel bags for so many years now. They're not sponsoring me, and in fact, I paid for these bags myself. But I will show you guys some options in the videos as well that are cheaper alternative options that look very similar. But Herschel has just held up many years, which is why I've kept using them. I've had the same bag, I think, since middle school, and I also grabbed one in high school and used it for the first 3 years of university, and I still use them today. I think I picked up a couple things from them this time. Didn't remember buying this. And I also didn't remember buying 2 card holders either. Just set that aside though, but this is like a pencil case, which I guess for back to school, it really makes sense that they've included something like this. Here are also a couple card holders. Ones that can hold a couple cards that can strap onto your belt, and the other one is just a typical one, which is one that I would probably use. This also does have RFID protection for your credit cards and stuff, which is nice. But this one is in the gray color, which is personally my color of choice. It stays very durable over long periods of time. And when it comes to the backpack and the laptop bags, for the backpack, I grabbed it in Texas Rangers, I believe, color, just because of the color scheme and the match. I think the blue looks really cool, as always. And in terms of these laptop bags, I went with one that was more padded, and the other one is more of a folio. This one is for the 13-inch computer in an orange color. I haven't actually seen this one before, but it's nice and padded, so if you have a MacBook Pro, then it fits perfectly. And this one over here is more of a folio, I guess, where you kind of have that gray color, which is, once again, one of my favorites. Flip that open, your computer can go in, and it kind of has that quick access as opposed to a zipper on the side. So this year for the back to school content, I've really tried to consider every aspect as to what a student is going to need, both for ones who are living at home, but also in dorms. And I think one of the most important things for any student is to have good Wi-Fi. And I remember back when I went to a film camp and stayed at a dorm for a week, because other than that, when I did go to university, it was local. I was the only one that had a router, and I was able to buy an internet plan, and people were paying me to use my internet, and I actually made some money off that. So if you have a good router like this one, then you've got yourself an AC 1750, which is going to be fast enough for any plan that you're going to be able to get at a dorm, and the signal is going to be great. TP-Link products are pretty budget, and I've had them in the past, and on the back you do have USB ports to connect external drives if you want to back up and share files easily. And it has actually a 2.4 and 5 gigahertz band with a max of 450 and 1300 megabits per second for HD and even 4K streaming, no problem at all. Let's just open this up here and take a look at what is inside. Any router that has 3 antennas is going to have really good range, especially if you're operating out of like a 50 square foot room. But here you could, here's the router itself, and although it is really big, you can wall mount it or just put it under your desk. But here we have the 3 antennas as well as the power cable that is included. It does also give you an Ethernet, so that is nice to see. Not all companies include that, which is kind of stupid because they're like literally $1. And there's no worse feeling than being excited to get your internet finally up and going after like 3 weeks and not being able to use it because you don't have Ethernet. I think you screw these on and that's all. But other than that, plug this into the wired internet port, set it up, and you've got yourself a network that will probably cover the entire floor of the dorm. Next up, for any desk setup tour, we need a pair of speakers, and one that I've always picked for back to school is from Logitech, because Logitech makes a lot of things that come in at budget prices, but also perform very well. So I really don't think you can go wrong with this company, and the one I picked for this year is a Z213. This one is extremely cheap, it's 14 watts, but it does also have a sub along with 2 speakers itself, the volume control and stuff. So it's kind of the best of everything, giving you a good sound quality, a powerful sound, but coming at a price point that is almost a no-brainer. Just open this up here, and as you can see, the units are pretty small because a lot of times in dorms you don't really have that much room to put things. So I think it's nice that it's 2 small units for the desk and also one that goes underneath the desk. I'm trying to figure out how to get this out of here effectively. So just taking this apart here, you have your volume control for the bass on the back of the sub. And there's also volume rockers, and there's also volume control as well as a 3.5mm for input. And there's also volume controls as well as a headphone jack. And over here, just taking these out of the bag to show you guys what they look like. The design itself is very simple. Obviously for its price point, you're not gonna expect anything too crazy, but there you have it. And these are Logitech Z213s, which is the 2.1 setup that comes in at a great price point, and I'm gonna show these in the desk setup tour. So moving on to another piece of home tech, the Philips Hue is the most popular option out there for smart bulbs. In the years, I've tried to avoid Philips because it was just the more expensive option, and being someone who has a ton of lights, paying $60 per bulb just didn't make any sense. sense. But I will say that after using the Hue system for about a year now, it is the most reliable of all of them that I've tried out, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I know for students, this might not be the best option. There are some others out there, but if you're only looking to get 1 or 2 lights, then the Hue bulb, especially with the bundles that are often coming on with Amazon Echo or Google Home, might make a lot of sense. So just opening this up here, we have the starter kit with the color bulbs. These are about 600 lumens, so aside from using it as a lamp, it isn't going to be the brightest bulb out there unless you have many of them. But here is the bridging system itself, and aside from that, we have the 4 light bulbs that are included. And these are the ones in white and color. Like I said, even though these are probably not the cheapest bulbs out there, if you're able to find it with a bundle with Amazon Echoes and stuff, and you're going to use that as well, then you can save quite a bit of money. Moving on, of course you do have to have a pair of headphones, and the reason why I'm showing the Beats Solo 3 wireless is because if you pick up a MacBook Pro during the back to school season, or I think most MacBooks in general, then you have the opportunity to get a free pair of Beats, so I think a lot of people are going to be interested in the Solo 3. This is the wireless model, so for multimedia, it's going to be really nice. I personally really like to use wireless headphones now, and before I didn't. This is in the red color, which I typically do go with red for Beats, but this came with my MacBook Pro, and just based on specs, it has up to a 40-hour battery life, 5-minute charge gets you 3 hours of use. There is also a battery level indicator, a built-in wireless microphone, and of course it does connect via Bluetooth, but it does also have Apple's W1 chip to easily connect to Apple devices. Opening it up here, Beats of course always includes everything but the kitchen sink. Lifting this up, you've got the change the way you hear sound slogan. You've got the soft case. The larger model, the Studios do come with a harder case, which is nice, but the soft case is gonna do. If you wanna throw it in your backpack, you still should be perfectly fine because these are pretty durable. But as you can see, they're very portable. They fold up nicely. There's the buttons on this side and the charge on this side, as well as a micro USB. And just opening it up here, you have the cable that is included. And over here you have the cable both for 3.5 and for charging. Next up, I have something that you don't really see every day, and I actually came across this on Amazon, and this is a water bottle that is smart. It tells you when to drink water and stuff like that. It has an LCD touchscreen, and for what it was, the price point wasn't actually that much higher than a normal water bottle, so I decided to give it a try. I'm not sure if it's good or not, but I try to drink a lot of water nowadays. I still often forget, and I've been using plastic bottles a lot lately, or for the last long time. But here it is. The first thing that we have on the top is probably going to be a charging cable for the bottle. I mean, it's kind of weird that everything nowadays is electric and has to be charged. You have your toothbrushes, you have shower heads that are electric. Everything just seems to be some sort of technological thing. And although I'm not really a big fan of having everything smart, I'm still willing to give it a try and see what different things have to offer. So this is the bottle itself. It has a nice metal finish. It's actually very light considering it has like a full-on LCD on the top. I believe it also tells you the temperature of your drink, and it has a nice soft touch pad on the bottom. But look out for the back to school bag video because I'm gonna test this out and kind of tell you guys whether or not it works or if it's worth it at all. So the next thing that I picked up to show you guys for back to school is the Nespresso Anzia. So I have the Keurig right now, and I don't think it's that good. It's also not that cheap either, and I have heard some very good things about this. And in Canada, this was under $100, and it comes in a few different colors, but I decided to get it in the red, I believe. So just cut this open. And here you have the instruction manuals and and there you have it. So this, I believe, is one of the cheapest models out there for Nespresso. It uses the pods, and as someone who doesn't really know anything about making good coffee, I'm personally really fine with pods in general. There's also a water reservoir on the back that should hold maybe 1 to 2 servings. And you will also find 2 different buttons on the top for the small and large cup size. And I believe your pods, but I think the best part about this, aside from its price, is that it's very small and slim. So if you're living in a dorm, you're still able to have this no problem. And just like, I mean, look at this thing. I don't know if it's a love it or hate it look, but I think the red actually looks pretty cool. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing haul video, and like I said, make sure you have your post notifications on for the back to school content that I have planned for you guys. But I'll see you guys in the next video.